Cross-legged, or you could sit in Vajrasana, more like hero's pose, on the shin bones. So let's first just kind of arrive. Take a few breaths. You might close your eyes or half mask them, maybe find something out in front of you to set your gaze on that's towards the earth just a little bit, kind of settling yourself. And then kind of call it all in, right? So you didn't leave your fingers upstairs or down on the couch or whatever. You bring in everything that is a part of you and just asking it to be present, even if it's the intention and that doesn't really intellectualize for you. You're just calling it in. I'm here now, I am this whole being. When we think about integration, starting to integrate the breath, maybe noticing its rhythm. Every piece of it is okay as it is. It's an inquiry. It's kind of like, what is here? Soften yourself and just settle into now. I'm not casting aside parts of ourselves. So even paying attention to what might be bothering the body. And so any kind of previous scarring or injuring or tenderness, and then bringing that into the emotional self as well. So that we can honor that as we move. You might shrug the shoulders a couple times, turn the head side to side, soften the side necks, and as your hands rest in your lap, let the elbows get a little heavier, but lift the upper sternum and the upper palate and gently pull the belly back. So you support into the low back and you almost feel a reflection from the sitting bones to the spine kind of lifting. And let's take like 5 breaths here, just 5 breath cycles, just on your own. And then when you've completed those 5 breath cycles, you can move off onto your back body, so onto your mat, and lay down. Take the blocks with you. So I'm hoping that you have blocks, and if you don't, you can, we'll kind of make do without them. Just a little conduit to the ground. But as you come onto your back body, let's move right into an active bridge pose. So you can set the feet down, about hips width apart. And then start to lift your hips up. And just take your time as you kind of checking in with your body. But you're active and you can feel the reflection again of the earth, kind of a reverb as you ground into the feet, maybe the shoulders and back of the head. And then if it feels accessible, bind your hands under your sacrum. All right, and if you can get that and that feels good, you can drag the knuckles toward the heels a little bit and even tuck your shoulder blades, kind of walk the back part of your shoulder, the shoulder blades underneath you, and push down through the hands and the arms. Lift the hips a little higher. If that doesn't work for you, the bind, you can just hold on to your mat and kind of lever yourself up a little bit, just grabbing the edges of the mat. Lift the hips a little bit higher. You might kind of move the knees forward and back. Just experience the weight shifting in the feet. Notice how that feels on the back, and then maybe pull the knees in towards you a little bit more, so it's the back motion, and lift the hips again. And then when you release, set the sacrum down and come into asana, where the soles of your feet come together and your knees fall wide. And then your hands, bring them onto your thighs just in the most natural way, where the fingertips face the knees, and you set the hands on the thighs. You're going to kind of bend the elbows and let the hands, the heels of your palms, come all the way up towards your hip creases. So you start maybe with long arms, hands on the thighs, fingertips towards the knees, and then you start to bend the elbows so they kind of take off out to the sides until you get the heels of the palms up towards the fleshy part, right in where the hip creases are. And then see if you can traction by pushing your upper leg bones away. And so you get the heel of the palm right up in there, traction, get a little bit of flesh, and then push the femur bones away. And so you can create maybe a sense of tractioning in the low back. Keep that, right? Breathe. Could even find a sense of pushing the feet into the earth a little bit more as you do that. And just notice when you do that and when you release it. And then push into the femur bones a little bit more. And then we'll release that. Hug the knees into the chest and kind of really get a sense of expanding your lower back. So you can rock a little bit or you can curl the forehead towards your knees. And then I want to awaken the core just a tad. So take your right leg up and over. You can full eagle the legs if that's what's comfortable for you, or just the foot by the side. And then right arm under if you can get that, or just your forearms and elbows kind of come together. So either eagle arms where you wrap them up, bind them up, or just bring your forearms together. And then tap your fingertips towards the earth and your toes towards the earth. So you take your elbows and your knees really far away from each other. And see if you can seal the low back to the mat. Take a nice big inhale. Keep that low back sealed. And as you exhale, elbows to knees. And we're just going to do a bunch of those. So keep the low back sealed, open and close this. And just keep breathing. Exhaling as you come up, inhaling as you open. So fill up, open, exhale, crunch. Couple more. Awaken through your belly. And then we're going to just release the arms. So keep the legs bound. Bump your hips over to the right just a little bit for a twisted root. So you can keep the right leg tucked right up and over and let your knees fall to the left. And then arms can do what feels good. So you can open them out, take them over the head, what feels good there. Tee the arms or cactus them. And then come back to center. You know, unwind your legs and wind them up the other way. Left leg on top, left arm on bottom, or the forearms together. Right? So listen to what's accessible right now. And then toes and fingertips go away from each other. Touch the floor, elbows and knees away. Seal the low back. Take a full inhale, soften the jaw, and exhale, elbows to knees. Let the back teeth part, inhale, open, low back is still sealed, exhale, come up. Then just find your flow. Keep noticing the low back wanting to pull away from the floor and really drive the navel down. I've got this squeaky spot on my floor again. Keep going. Just a couple more and then we'll take our twist. So you can unwind that arms. When you're ready, bump the hips to the left a little bit and then let your knees fall to the right this time. And anything goes with the arms. They can open like a T. It kind of gives you a little bit of grounding, a little bit of opposition to the twist. And then come back to center, unwind the legs. Take the block if you have it. Place it in between your thighs. And then just make your legs look like a chair that's fallen backwards. So if you have a block, you can place it in between your thighs. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You could just squeeze your inner thighs together. So just give you a little something to hold on to. Now seal the low back again into the mat. Bring your hands onto your thighs, kind of like we've done before, but maybe more towards the center, right towards the middle, in between the knee and the hip joint. And then push the hands into the thighs as the thighs come back into the hands. So if you can find a resistance between thighs coming towards you and hands resisting that, and then squeeze the block, and now seal the low back into the mat. Soften your jaw. Recognize where you are. Notice all the parts, right? Squeeze the block, hands into thighs, thighs into hands, low back seals for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, you can release. And then the block will be handy here. You can place one block either on its lowest level or maybe its second tier. Place it right under the sacrum. Now, if you want to go higher, and you have 2 blocks, and this is kind of an investigation that you'll explore. But if you have 2 blocks and you're feeling frisky, you can do 2 blocks under the sacrum. And this is more of a psoas release than our bridge. So we're kind of creating this shape, and then I want you to straighten one of your legs out and just let the toes fall open. If it feels too high, it is, and you can take out a block. All right, so just find a sense of where you are. If you're feeling like you have a little more, draw your opposite knee in. So you got one leg straight and one knee coming in. And you might float the heel of the long leg just even a tad off the mat and kind of see when it moves around what you can access. And you're breathing fully, and you're really here. You're honoring what you need. You can switch sides if you have one knee pulled in and one leg long. And just really be mindful of your back, your low back, and your sacrum, what you're feeling. This could be an active bridge. You could rest in astavakrasana. Check out what's here. And remember what's not. So even the parts of you that you're still calling in, those fragments that are maybe eventually going to make their way back in and connecting the dots, you can just be mindful. And then when we're ready, you're gonna release. You can bend both knees, set the feet on the ground, take a moment, feel this, and then lift the hips up and take the blocks away. Just move them out to the side. And hug your knees into your chest. And then come up to a seat. So you can just grab behind your knees and give it a rock up to seated. And when you're on your sitting bones, I like to really find them. You know what that means. And then hands can come in behind the knees, and we'll prop the feet up or lift the feet up into Navasana. And see if you can feel the low back actually lift here. So instead of that sensation where we're pushing it into the earth, see if you can lift the low back away from the earth. So you really lift the spine. Get it tall. And if you want to reach the arms out, you could even move a little bit coming into Ardha Navasana. So you open it out and then come back up. Soften your jaw if you're doing that. You can open and close a few times. This is really awakening. What happens when we integrate, we call in parts of ourselves that were, like, why would we do that? There's certain things we don't want to look at, right? Release that, set the feet down, bring your hands in behind you with the fingers facing in towards the glutes, and then lift your hips up. What happens when we integrate is we stabilize. And so the waves, or like that frenetic energy, lift up, push down through the thumbs and the index fingers, and then we'll release down. Frenetic energy or anxiety can soften its grip. We call things in, we stop denying, we listen. Have a seat on your shin bones now. And have you kind of towards the middle of the mat, and it is possible that you'll want your blocks behind you. It's possible. And they'll be in a position to catch your hands, because you're gonna put your hands back there. So just have them back there, and they'll find their way if you want them. Otherwise, you can be on finger pads. But what we're gonna do is, you're seated on your shins, just free that right leg so that you're not kind of in this little squat, like you might sit if you were watching your kids play baseball or something. I don't know when you would sit like this. Have the foot right inside the thigh or the knee, and then maybe the hands go to the earth behind you, and maybe they land on the blocks. But keep your left shin bone pretty heavy and the left knee joint heavy, and just start to lift your hips up. So it's okay if your right heel lifts. You're just exploring your left quadricep. Move the base of your tail towards the back of your left knee. Can you open the shoulder heads and really lift your breastbone up? Take a big breath in, and then set this down. And come back to Vajrasana, which is just tucking the right foot back underneath you and having this seat. And then just wait a second. Whew, I'm here now. We're gonna carry everything with us. Like, we're not going to leave anything behind. So just kind of noticing the residue, right? Every experience that we have leaves an imprint. What is that imprint? What does it lead to? So what do we then do as a result of the imprint? So let's do the other side. Left foot comes inside the right knee. And just bring that knee. Yeah, cool. And then hands behind you. Maybe on the blocks. And then lift your hips up, driving the right shin bone down, the knee joint down, tailbone, so the base of your tail towards the back of that right knee, and then can you lift the breastbone like I'm holding it, I'm pulling it up, I'm lifting your heart. And then gently release. And you can put the blocks kind of towards the middle of the mat, just in case you need them anytime throughout the practice. And then we'll come into downward facing dog. So Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the hands to the earth. Step your feet back. Just find that beautiful shape. We sit here today, meaning everything we've ever experienced, we lived through it. Like we did that. And so we get to carry that. And rather than dwelling in the past, maybe we touch it, we look at it, we feel it, we integrate it, we bring it in, and then it lessens the grip it has on us. Just taking a nice big breath in, and a nice big breath out. And then reach your right leg way up and back behind you. And step your right foot forward like you were setting up for warrior two. Spin the back heel down and flatten. Bring your hands inside your right foot. And then walk your hands long. So this is warrior dog, I've heard it called. It's kind of marrying a warrior stance with a downward facing dog. So you have these warrior two legs. You're going to walk your hands off to the left, really get them far away from you, maybe even on the fingertips. So your spine is really stretched long, and then you can hang your head. Hug your right hip back and even in towards the midline. So see what you find there in that warrior dog. And keep, if you can, feeling for your hip crease on the right and gently tugging it back. I'm here now, I am. Sometimes find ourselves in these positions and we're like, wait a minute, what is happening? So you might want to have one of those blocks up at the top of your mat. So if you have it in reach, grab it. And we're just going to inhale our hands back towards the center line, so they're framing the right foot. And we'll put our feet on backwards. So if you've been on my class before, you know what that means. We're just going to step the left foot, the left ankle tucks in and behind the right one. So you kind of, when you look down, your feet are on backwards. Take a little bit of a halfway lift, and this is why the block is handy, because this is not an easy place to be. Have the hands on the block and just move it off to the right, and then hang your head and kind of squeeze the inner thighs together. Let your spine decompress. Let your IT band say hello. And then come back to center. When you take a halfway lift, free the left leg up and into the air behind you. And then fold forward. And you can land your feet about hips width for chair pose. Now, I'm going to put the block in between my thighs. So if you have a block and you want to use it, you can place it in between your thighs here. And I'll just turn towards you for now. Utkatasana, knees bent like you're sitting back in a chair. I got the block in there. You could have your knees together, just squeezing in, or the energy of squeezing in. But if you don't have a block in your knees or your feet are separate, try not to like buckle in like this. So it's more energy down and in, but you're not moving the knees. They stay aligned kind of with the shins and the feet and the toes. Your arms can be up. And you're finding the low belly and its relationship to the low back. Take one more inhale in chair, and then as you exhale, fold forward, and you can release the block off to the side if you had it. And then halfway lift, lengthen out, and as you exhale, step your right foot back. Pivot all 10 toes to face the left edge of your mat. And that means for me, I'm coming onto the knife edge of my right foot. Now you can keep both hands on the ground and just let your hips drop. Or maybe your left hand comes to the inner left thigh and kind of push away or even reach behind you. So your hips can get as heavy as it feels comfortable.
So this is going to look different for every single one of us. Can you peel the shoulder heads apart? So broaden the collarbones and feel into your right side body. And then we'll come back around. So come back to the front of the mat. Keep the back knee down and inhale your arms up into asana. So yeah, we're just kind of float around the mat a little bit. Take a big breath in. If you like blocks or half splits, you can take the blocks with you as you come back to Ardha Hanuman. But then what we're going to do is incorporate where we've been before and just sit back on the right heel. You might take the blocks with you. Bend your left knee. Set the foot inside the right knee. So you've been here before. Left knee bends, left foot on the ground. You're seated on your right sitting bone. That's it. Now maybe blocks behind you. Maybe just your hands. Pick up your hips and drive your right shin bone down. Nice big inhale, open the heart, lift the breastbone. Exhale, slowly come down. Straighten your left leg, so hands forward, left leg is straight, your back towards Ardha Hanuman, then pull forward to Asana. So crawl forward, let go of expectations, be present, inhaling. And as you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Now you know you might need your blocks, so have them around. Ground your palms. Take a three-legged down dog with your left leg up and back. So tuck your right toes under, lift the back knee, sweep the left leg up and back. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, step the left foot forward. And like warrior two, spin the back heel down and flat. Warrior dog on this side, so walk your hands up to the right. Get your spine nice and long. Establish that, and then remember your legs. So it's all a part of it. Left hip pulls back and in. Let the head hang. And then a couple big breaths. When you feel ready, you can walk your hands back around to frame the left foot. Maybe there's a block out there because you know where we're going. Put your feet on backwards. So left ankle or right ankle tucks in behind the left. And then a little halfway lift as you grab your block and turn over towards the left side and bow in. Squeeze inner thighs. Think about that eagle pose, that sort of energy in. Breathing, breathing, breathing. And then when you come back to center, take the block if you wish. Take your right leg into the air. Full inhale. And forward fold. I'm going with the block in between my thighs again. So Utkatasana. Block in between my thighs. I'm going to sit down. And then this time, interlace your hands where the pinkies trace the occiput. So you can feel the base of your skull and you kind of hook underneath that with your pinky fingers. And all 10 fingers are interlaced. And then kind of get the heels of your palms behind your ears, almost as if you could lift your head up. Sit low, let the pelvis draw down, but then lift the elbows up and think cow pose. I want you to look up and open the chest and the whole sheath of the front body. So the belly. Take a breath in as you exhale, think cat-cow, curl the elbows in and tap the knees, squeeze the block if you have it. Inhale, open up. Do it again, exhale, curl in. Squeeze the block, inhale, lift the elbows, open the heart. Exhale, curl in. This time we're gonna free the arms and just come to Utkatasana. Arms up. And then forward fold, let go of that block. Might have it off to the side. And then halfway lift. Left foot steps back. All 10 toes turn to the right. And then both hands could be on the earth if you want. Or as your hips dip in, maybe the right hand goes to the inner right thigh, or kind of explore the depth of this in the outer right hip. You're just checking, right? What do I have today? Maybe there's a little bit of dynamic movement where you kind of go up and down. And whatever is here is perfectly fine, just getting the cobwebs out. Turn forward for Asana, back knee down. You might want the blocks handy. Take your arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, hands come down and we move into Ardha Hanuman. The blocks back. Take a moment just to recognize the hamstrings, what's there on that right side. And then go ahead and sit all the way back and bend your right knee. So you're now seated on your left sitting bone with the right knee hugged in, and the hands can come behind you. So we'll pick up the hips, open the heart, drive down through the left knee complex. Big breath in. As you breathe out, set the hips down. Right leg goes to straight again, so you're rebuilding, like going back through Hanuman. And then pull forward and come to Anjaneyasana, arms up. When you exhale, you can just settle the hands to the earth. And then take your right leg up and back into a 3-limb downward facing dog. So push off, take the right leg up and back. This time, bring your knee in to tap your nose. So round in, and then right leg up and back. And right foot forward. We're gonna skip that warrior down dog. You might want the block. Go right to left ankle tucks behind the right. So feet on backwards, a little halfway lift. And then pour yourself torso over to the right, taking the hands on the block over there. When you come back to center, block in the front, inhale your left leg into the air. And then feet side by side this time. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. And then we'll twist it over to the right. So sit low, find your buoyancy, bring your hands to your heart, and hook your left elbow to your right thigh. Find the rotation. Good, I'm gonna come over and check and see how you guys are doing. Breathe, yeah. Lengthen from the base of your tail right up to the crown of your head. Awesome, Lorian, yes. Come back up, inhale, Utkatasana. When you exhale, just pour forward, hang your head. Now lengthen into halfway lift. You might push off, finding some space. Step your right foot back behind you. Turn all 10 toes to the left. Let your hips dip and reach your left arm behind you. And now a few times, let's lift and lower the hips, reaching the arm over the head. So we'll move with the breath. Inhale, the hips lift and your arm goes up and over. And exhale, lower and reach behind you. So do that again. Inhale, lift and reach. And exhale, lower and reach. One more time. Inhale, lift. Your breath. Exhale, lower. And then back to Anjaneyasana at the top. Turn your left toes forward. Bring your back knee down. Inhale, your arms up. Here's half split. So we're going to go ahead and crawl back. And then right away, sit down. Sitting bone to heel bone. And bend your left knee. You got it. Hands behind you. Lift your hips up. Exhale, set it down. Straighten your left leg. Let that be first. Crawl forward. Anjaneyasana. Inhaling. Hands to the mat as you exhale. 3-legged down dog. Take your left leg and reach it way up and back. All of you's here. Knee to nose. Exhale. Left leg rises up and back. Left foot forward, going right to feet on backwards. So the right ankle tucks in behind. Take halfway lift. Pour off to the left as you exhale. Come back to center, right leg in the air. Forward fold, hang your head. Feet together, Utkatasana. So bend your knees, sit low. And revolve it to the left. So now your right elbow's gonna reach down, hook onto your left thigh. And rotate. See if you can pull thumbs to sternum as you reach sternum to thumbs. Beautiful. Yes, you guys. Awesome. Good. Beautiful. Pelian, nice. When you feel ready, start to inhale back, Utkatasana. And as you exhale, pull forward. Your halfway lift gives you length and preparation for stepping the left foot back. Turn all 10 toes to the right. Let your hips dip. Reach the right arm back behind you. You got it. We'll do 3 times. So inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, lower, reach behind you. 2 more times, just yours. Awesome, you guys. Another time. Anjane asana to the top. Bend that left knee, set it down. Turn the right toes forward. Inhale, arms up. And we go to half split. We're going right back to seated. And then curl that right knee in towards you. So the right foot is down. Now hands behind you. Pick up the hips as you drive down through the left knee and shin. Exhale, set it back down. Yeah, straighten that right leg out. Crawl forward. Anjaneyasana, inhalation. Exhalation is to plank pose. Step back, pause, push the earth away. Feel the energy of what's there to hold you, right? Integrate through heel bones back, upper sternum forward, upper palate forward. Meet right body or right front side body with back side body. Yes, Caroline, take a breath in. You can keep the elbows in, beautiful Shirley, and lower all the way to your belly. Yes, all the way down. Now, when you get down, you can come onto your forearms just for a second, like you're just chilling, right? And I want that right knee kind of, you can try this, see how it feels. The right knee to kind of move to the right side of the mat a little bit. So you bend the knee, kind of let it open, just a tad. Okay, so the left leg is long behind you. You just have your right knee kind of askew. Like, I mean, if you were sitting in bed talking to somebody, this might be, you're just like, it's not a pose, right? It's a pose. It's a very important pose. Bring your hands right underneath your, where your elbows were, right where your elbows were, and then push yourself off. So kind of adjust the knee as you need to. Let's think more like a seal pose kind of thing. The right knee is askew. And then look over your right shoulder and really let your left hip get heavy. Another big breath in, slow release down, maybe rock the hips side to side. Pull the right knee back in so the left leg is long and next to the left, and then we'll switch sides. So if it felt good, it's just a different variation of cobra. You can push off and find the other side and look over your left shoulder. So can you create more space left side body? Lower down when you're ready. Curl back into child's pose. Rest yourself back. And maybe this is a moment to I get to ground in. So this is the moment where, okay, I'm ready to look at something and I'm feeling solid. So I'm in this place of stability or this place of kind of harmony. This is typically when we're like, okay, I'm feeling strong. I can look at something in this moment. I can maybe access something I hadn't been ready to look at. And it gives us strength. We connect the dots, we're more fortified, and it's not so fragmented. So pull forward, inhale, table pose, and then exhale, downward facing dog. I'm here. I'm here now. I am. If you need anything, you would tell me in the chat box. You guys look amazing. Take your right leg up and back behind you. And step your right foot forward. Prepare for high lunge on the ball of the back foot. Rise the arms up. Yeah. Awesome. Big breath in, and your left arm's going to sweep under your right, eagling the arms. And then come into full eagle with the left leg up and over. So you've been here on your back, been exploring Utkatasana. You can find a nice bend in the right knee, stabilize. Take an inhale, lift the elbows a little bit further away from the knees, and then as you exhale, bring the knees the elbows to the knees. And then come back up. And when you come back up, keep the legs as they are, unwind the arms, and interlace the hands behind the head like you had them in chair. Unwind your left leg, step back to high lunge with the hands wrapped around the base of the skull. So find your stability through your legs. And then kind of get a sense of lifting the head up. So can you actually be so strong to kind of clamp on and lengthen your spine? Then lift the elbows up and think cow pose. Open the heart, take an inhale. As you exhale, hug the belly back and bring the elbows towards the knee. Do that a couple more times. Stabilize, inhale. Everything is drawing in towards center and then expanding back out. It's very dynamic. And one more time. When you come back up, unwind the arms, take them over the head. And then right hand to the sacrum, let it stabilize. Take your left arm forward and then roll the right shoulder down and back and open your heart to the right side. Okay, so right shoulder blade is kind of anchoring down on the backside ribs. You're rotating. Then flip the left palm up and reach up and back. Now I have my hand on my sacrum. I'm deliberately finding a little energy down as I pull the belly in and then reach up and back. Firm through your left leg. Yeah, you guys, take a breath in. To the very back of your mat, extended side angle. So turn left again, and find your way into extended side angle with the left knee bent. The right arm can reach over the head, or maybe you're feeling ready for a little half bind or a full bind. But you're here, you're noticing all the way from the tips of your toes, all of you. Come to reverse warrior. Unwind any binds, tip up and back. Hold for a second and notice your upper body. Nothing about this is going to change. Keep the upper body as it is. Just listen. Straighten your left leg, fold the toes in. Turn your right toes forward. Bend into the right knee and you're in extended side angle facing forward. So if you just keep your body stable there, come into extended side angle now into the right knee bend. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Reverse warrior from this side. So left arm down, right arm up. Take a moment. If you want to play, I had to scoot my foot back a little bit. Pick up your right heel and lean back a little more, maybe straighten the right leg. Just notice that dynamic energy through the calf and the hamstrings. And the relativity. Set the heel down. Inhale, straighten the forward leg. You're reaching up and back. As you exhale, we're coming into half moon. So you might want to block out there. You can kind of find the right footing for your right foot. And a little bend into the right knee to launch. Ardha Chandrasana. And let it have all the wobbles that it needs to have. Right? Sometimes that's how we get there. We wobble through it and all of a sudden we're like, oh, okay, there we go. Wobble through it. Find your center. Bring it all in, integrated. Imagine where you're going before you go, standing knee raised with the left knee forward. So when you feel ready, you're gonna start to look towards the earth if you're not already. You can take your left knee kind of wide. I'm bending my right knee and bring the left knee forward. And here you are. I've got my hands on my hips. This can either be standing hand to knee or standing hand to big toe. So you can hold the knee, left hand, left knee, and peel it open. Really tall, lifting from the inner parts of yourself. Integrate, right? Whew, I'm super fortified. Or extend the leg out. Okay, I'm gonna take the leg forward, leg or knee forward, and see if you can keep it out there, leg or knee. Arms up, warriors 3. Take the leg back, arms forward. 3, high lunges next. 2, and 1. Bend the right knee, set the left foot down, come back, high lunge. Good, how we doing? I see you guys. Little tiny squares. Take a big breath in, bring your hands to your heart, hook the left elbow to the right thigh and rotate. Okay, so now you're in this revolved crescent lunge. Ha, I'm here now, I am. Revolved, lengthening. So the lengthen is almost like you're pushing the heel bone on your left foot back into a wall, but then in opposition, heart forward, so breastbone forward, and then lever the rotation. Inner thigh towards elbow, elbow towards the inner thigh. Okay, twisting half moon is where we're going. I'm going to bring the right hand onto my sacrum and the left hand to the earth or a block. And then we shift the weight into the right foot and let the left leg launch again. And now rotate left ribs under right ribs. You can take your right arm to the sky, but drive actively through both of your heel bones. Take a breath in. Know that what we're setting up for next is a twisted triangle. So when you set the left foot down, it's about 3 to 3.5 feet back behind you. Nice little bend in the right knee and pull a block in. Place it to the outer part of your right foot. Okay, establish your foundation. And then I'm going to pull my right hip back a little bit as I, in opposition, reach the breastbone forward. So I'm just gonna hook onto my right hip, pull it back, lengthen the heart forward, and then left ribs under right. And maybe the hand stays at the same ground because it feels better for my shoulders right now. Or the arm to the sky. One more big breath in. Release and turn left, wide-legged fold. Now you can just enjoy a wide-legged fold. You can drop down into a child's pose. You're feeling crow or maybe an arm balance. This might be a time, it could be a headstand here. If you are a lover of inversions or even astavakrasana. If I was coming into astavakrasana from here, I would bend into my left knee and come into skanda. And so skandasana into the left knee if you want to play with this. Sit your bottom down. And it's kind of starting to be accessible to me with my shoulders. I've had frozen shoulders since August, and I'm PTing on the regular, so they're getting better. But if I was going to come into astavakrasana from here, I would bend the right knee now, and I would use the left leg up and over. So you can pick up your right foot, hold on to it with the right hand, left foot with right hand. I'm not sure if I said right foot. Left foot with right hand, and then tuck the left shoulder underneath that left leg, and then kind of hug down. I'm going to bring my right hand behind me. My hands are just slightly in front of my hips, and then I'm going to hook my toes. And even this you could play with, kind of rocking to see if you can get your bum up. Oh, maybe the bum comes up. And if it's coming up, you definitely need to bend your elbows, bring the heart forward, and then straighten your legs out. Squeeze through the inner thighs. You can set it down, however that happens. And then soles of the feet together, however you have taken your time there. Soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. I'm bringing a block in front of me to rest my forehead. And then I think it feels good. You can try this if you want to bring the hands behind you. Just hold opposite hand to opposite wrist. Head down. Let it all come together. Eventually, we're going to move through a vinyasa. And so when it feels right, you can come up and make your way through Chaturanga Dandasana or some variation. However it feels good for you to come back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Okay, it's quiet out there. No chatting. That must mean you're doing okay. Beautiful. Yes. Awesome. Hi, Haley. I see you. When you feel ready from downward dog, nice big inhale. You can kind of unite the breath. Big old exhale. And then take your left leg up and back. The left foot's gonna step forward for a high lunge. So just there when you're ready, high lunge. I'm getting a sweat. I don't know about you. Nice high lunge turns into eagle. So right arm under, right leg up and over. When you're ready, you come into eagle Garudasana. And then know that we're going to that sleeping eagle where you bring the elbows to tap the knees, perhaps. And when you come back up, you keep the legs for a second and then release the hands behind the head. You find that grip and then knee forward and it steps back for high lunge with this grip of the hands behind the head. So find your legs, and stable. Inhaling to lift the elbows, open the front body firm through the back leg as you exhale, elbows to your knee. And then same thing, inhale, exhale. Cat-cow essence. And follow the movement with your gaze and your breath. And after 3, you can inhale, take the arms over the head. Now left hand comes to the sacrum. Right arm goes forward. Really feel that left shoulder blade securing itself down onto the backside ribs. And then you can flip the right palm up and reach it up and back. So a little bit of energy, if it feels good to you, you can kind of get the heel of the palm Drawing the sacrum down, pull the belly in and firm through your right leg. It's a big breath in and then extended side angle to the back of your mount. So turn right and right again. And over here, what's feeling good? Perhaps the bind. What do you got? What's your body asking for? When you're ready for reverse warrior, unwind any binds. You stay towards the back of the mat, still into the right knee. Reach up and back, but then upper body isn't changing. Straighten your forward leg, which is the right one. Turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out, side angle. Just drop into it. Awesome. Yeah, and then when you're ready to reverse this side, come up and back, and maybe there's a little bit of a heel lift, straightening, and just awakening. Oh my gosh, I feel the calf. And then when you're ready, half moon. So I'll kind of tiptoe my left foot back a little bit, and it's a precarious launch. So here, stacking right hip on top of left. You can use your hands to aid your sensation. Notice perception, where am I in space? And remember where you're going to a standing knee raise. So look towards the earth. Soften into the hips a little bit so they know moving forward, right? Leveling off. And then take your right knee forward. And standing hands to knee or standing hands to big toe. Okay, so you can open yourself out how it feels good to you. When you come back to center, try to take the leg long, leg or knee out there, arms up, transition warrior 3. Okay, warrior 3, arms can reach forward or the hands at the heart. 3, high lunge is coming, 2, and 1, a little bend into the left knee, set the right foot down. Arms up, and then we revolve it to the left, right elbow's gonna hook. So hook the right elbow, come down into revolved crescent lunge. Amazing, breathe. Can you lengthen, can you move the base of, or the top of your sternum or breastbone away from the base of your tail? So you find the rotation, but the length is also there. Yeah. Going to a revolved half moon. So left hand might slide onto your sacrum, right hand to the earth. Launch up, find the stability. So give yourself that second to, overuse the word, integrate. Drive through the heels, right ribs tuck under left, open up to the left with the upper body. 3, we're going twisting triangle, really push through the heels. 2, when you set the right foot down, set it down. 1, set it down about 3 to 3.5 feet behind the left one, and pull in your block. It goes right outside the left foot. Right hand down, use your left hand to gently coerce the left hip back. As the sternum reaches in opposition, firm through your legs, right ribs under left. Collarbones broaden. Maybe left hand to sacrum, maybe left hand to sky. Take another breath in. Turn to the right, wide fold. So you just fold the toes over towards the right edge of the mat, and you can hang out here. Crow headstand or astavakrasana. 8 angle pose if you wish. I'm going to start by bending into my right knee. Get into skanda. And then set my hippies down. Hips down. Fold the left foot in. Make sure you have your space. The right foot is picked up by the left hand, and then your right arm tucks underneath. Maybe. Okay. Gonna hook the toes and see if you've got a little bit of leverage, squeezing in to pick up the bum. Maybe that's it. All right, know that you have to bend the elbows. It's like there's something really tasty on the floor in front of you, and you're trying to, or a sip of water. Maybe at this point it's a sip of water. And you squeeze the inner thighs, bend the elbows, take the legs out and bring the head down. When you're ready, you can release it. And we'll come to Baddha Konasana. Block in front to catch the forehead. Hands behind. Hold the other wrist, if you can remember. And hang. If I could bring all of me in. Unity of your thoughts, of your feelings, of sensation. In all matters of the mind, chitta. Right? The things, our perceptions are what lead to the habits and patterns that we create. Yoga, talk about samskara. What are the grooves, the imprints left? When you feel ready to come up, you can come up and just make your way onto your back body. So free the legs out, lay down onto the back. Hug your knees and do what feels natural when you come down. Maybe it's even legs up the wall with no wall. Let the heart rate, you just notice it, you notice your breathing, maybe just giving yourself a second. And then we'll set the feet down, almost like you were setting up for bridge, but to do twisted root again. So right leg up and over. Bump the hips to the right just a little bit. If your right leg is on top, you're twisting to the left. So you can let the knees fall to the left and peel the arms open. So you can have this frenetic energy that is attached to perhaps not connecting the dots, and or this feeling of I don't give a shit anymore, this lethargy, or like I'm over it. And what about that sweet spot in between where there is a sense of harmony or peace? And I truly believe that comes from the looking and the seeking. And we also have to be ready. Come back to center, unwind the legs, take the left leg up and over, bump your hips to the right, or excuse me, to the left. And then the knees fall to the right. And you can open up. Just finding our way to balance, finding our way to a sense of stability, incorporating it all. And so reframing, maybe come back to center, have your knees into your chest, and take a bridge so your feet on the ground and your hips can lift. If we can reframe the parts of us that were like, yeah, not so much, that kind of hurt and I don't want to look there. Reframing it for what we can sort of extract. If you got through it, it offered you wisdoms. One more breath in, and you can slowly lower the hips. And any other posture that would feel supportive to your practice before Shavasana. And if you like any props or anything, you can grab those props. And then we'll settle into our final resting posture. In the quieting, so even just these practices of attuning to your own body in the senses, we are creating a sense of awakening just by simply coming in and using the body as a sort of tool. To touch in, to mend. And in the quieting and the looking and seeing, we can tease out kind of the tangles. Maybe. And give yourself kind of 5 really intentional breath cycles. And before you let just soften all the way back. Notice the back body and the earth, the mat, the space that holds you in place here. And notice the front body and how these things merge together. The front body like a blanket to the back body. Start to notice the weight of you and how that changes with the breath. And you might deepen the breath a little bit and start to find a little bit of movement through blinking the eyes or turning the head side to side or wiggling your fingers and your toes. Noticing the residue of everything that you've heard and done and thought about and everything that you've carried with you and the emotions that were here or not here. And you can curl off to one side whenever it feels time. Eventually making your way back to a seated position where we started, coming up, sitting up tall on a block if you like. And feeling into your roots, all the way up to the crown, side to side, front to back, insides, outsides. I'm here now, I am. I'm going to meet the hands in front of the heart, just noticing the two sides of you, right hand meeting left. I'm feeling a little energy of pushing the hands together, and then in reverence to just showing up for yourself and each other. I'm so glad you did, and I bow to each of you. So much love and light. Namaste.